Southeast Asian region comprises 11 sovereign states. This region was an essential part of the world trade system even before the European contact. Various commodities, including spices, such as pepper, cloves, nutmeg and ginger are developed in the region. Agriculture is the main economic activity in most Southeast Asian countries, except Singapore and Brunei. This sector employs over 60% of Laos and Cambodia's workforce, with rice, cassava, corn and pulses as the main crops. Fishing is also an important source of livelihood in some areas. Singapore is the region's richest country. Brunei and Malaysia are respectively the second and the third richest. In this video, I will discuss the top 5 poorest country in this region of Southeast Asia. The 5th poorest country in Southeast Asia is Vietnam. With a GDP per capita of only $2,715.30. Vietnam is a mixed socialist-oriented market economy, which is the 37th largest in the world as measured by nominal gross domestic product, GDP. With a population of over 96 million, it is the world's 15th most populous country. Throughout the history of Vietnam, its economy has been based largely on agriculture, primarily in wet rice cultivation. The collectivization of farms, factories, and capital goods was carried out as part of the establishment of central planning, with millions of people working for state enterprises. Under strict state control, Vietnam's economy continued to be plagued by inefficiency, corruption in state-owned enterprises, poor quality and underproduction. Number 4. Laos. With a GDP per capita of only $2,534.90. Laos is a socialist state and the only landlocked country in Southeast Asia. Laos economy depends on investment and trade with its neighbors, Thailand, Vietnam, and especially in China. China was the biggest foreign investor in Laos's economy, having invested in $5.395 billion since 1989. Subsistence agriculture still accounts for half of the GDP and provides 80% of employment. Only 4% of the country is arable land and a mere 0.3% used as permanent cropland. Laos is rich in mineral resources and imports petroleum and gas. Metallurgy is an important industry, and the government hopes to attract foreign investment to develop the substantial deposits of coal, gold, bauxite, tin, copper, and other valuable metals. The mining industry of Laos has received prominent attention with foreign direct investments. This sector can make significant contributions to the economic condition of the country. Number 3. Cambodia. With a GDP per capita of only $1,643.10. Agriculture is the mainstay of the Cambodian economy. Agriculture accounted for 90% of GDP in 1985 and employed approximately 70% of the workforce. United Nations designates Cambodia as a least developed country. Most rural households depend on agriculture and its related subsectors. Rice, fish, timber, garments and rubber are Cambodia's major exports. Garment industry represents the largest portion of Cambodia's manufacturing sector, accounting for 80% of the country's exports. Tourism industry is the country's second greatest source of hard currency after the textile industry. Tourism employs 26% of the country's workforce, which translates into roughly 2.5 million jobs for Cambodians. The second poorest country is East Timor. With a GDP per capita of only $1,560.50. Economy of East Timor is a market economy, which used to depend upon exports of a few commodities such as coffee, marble, petroleum and sandalwood. The country's economy is dependent on government spending and to a lesser extent, assistance from foreign donors. private sector development has lagged due to human capital shortages, infrastructure weakness, an incomplete legal system, and an inefficient regulatory environment. After petroleum, the second largest export is coffee, which generates about $10 million a year. Agriculture sector employs 80% of East Timor's active population. In 2009, about 67,000 households grew coffee in East Timor, with a large proportion of those households being poor. The poorest country in Southeast Asia is Myanmar. With a GDP per capita of only $1,407.80. It is the largest country in mainland Southeast Asia, and has a population of about 55 million. The informal economy's share in Myanmar is one of the biggest in the world and is closely linked to corruption, smuggling and illegal trade activities. In addition, decades of civil war and unrest have contributed to Myanmar's current levels of poverty and lack of economic progress. Myanmar lacks adequate infrastructure. Goods travel primarily across the Thai border, where most illegal drugs are exported, and along the Irrawaddy River. Myanmar produces precious stones such as rubies, sapphires, pearls and jade. Rubies are the biggest earner. 90% of the world's rubies come from the country, whose red stones are prized for their purity and hue. Thailand buys the majority of the country's gems. Myanmar's Valley of Rubies, the mountainous Mogok area, is noted for its rare pigeon's blood rubies and blue sapphires. What can you say about this 5th poorest country in Southeast Asia? You can leave your reaction in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video.